Good morning, YouTube. Another day. It is currently the 26th of June. Roughly, I think three weeks and 4 days out of my show. So it's coming pretty quick. Let me get an exact date. It's 3 weeks and 4 days. What we're doing today is it's a Wednesday. I'm not working today, so we're going to do a Q&A, which I posted on my stories a few days ago. I'm going to go train and just sort of take you through some of the questions. So welcome to the video. If you like this, make sure you are liking and subscribing, and my annoying cat is in the frame. We'll get some questions underway, so let's jump into it. I've got myself a black coffee. I do need to take progress photos in a minute, but it's still dark outside, so I'm going to be waiting for the natural light to come out a little bit. I try to make sure that my progress photos each week for my check-ins are super consistent and they're at the same time every day as well. And usually, like, this is probably 200 ml of liquid here in coffee, so it's not going to affect my progress photos too much, but I won't eat until I've done those progress photos. So the other day I posted a story on my Instagram asking some questions. So we're going to run through a few now, and then we'll get started with the day and keep answering as we go on. So first one, is it important to eat regularly throughout the day if your goal is weight loss, i.e. don't skip meals? So when it comes to meal timing, first of all, if your goal is weight loss, the main thing that you need to be focusing on is eating in a caloric deficit. So this is essentially where we're consuming less energy than what our body needs to essentially survive. What this is going to allow us to do is tap into our fat stores to use this as a fuel source rather than relying on extra energy or food. So when it comes to eating regularly for weight loss, the first thing you need to do is eat in a calorie deficit. If you're eating 5 meals regularly throughout the day, but you're not in a deficit, it's not going to affect your weight loss whatsoever. When it comes to meal timing, in a fat loss phase, I enjoy having smaller meals more frequently. One, because it's going to speed up your metabolism, digesting the food at a continuous, constant rate throughout the day is going to make your metabolism improve. But also it's going to be better for hunger management. So personally for me, if I was to have, 1 or 2 really, really big meals, it doesn't sit with my stomach well. Your blood glucose levels can elevate throughout the day. You can get high sugar and then low sugar crashes and then feel super tired and super lethargic. So if you're in your fat loss phase, it is important to eat regularly throughout the day. I usually prescribe my clients 5 meals. So that's 3 main meals and 2 snacks that are easy to eat on the go. But when it comes to weight loss, the biggest thing that you need to focus on is eating in a caloric deficit. Spacing your meals out is definitely going to aid with keeping your metabolism a lot faster to ensure that we're using our meals more purposefully. So that was a good one. Hopefully that made sense. So why is sleep so important in a weight loss and fitness journey? So sleep is like our regeneration phase, right? This is where our body grows new tissue. This is where we lower cortisol. This is when our brain goes into a state where it can relax, repair, and grow. When it comes to a fat loss phase, it also allows us to lower cortisol so then we can get into a caloric deficit a lot easier. There are studies showing that with high stress levels, it makes it a lot harder to be able to shift body fat. Also, high blood pressure can relate to high stress as well. But when you're in a state of like a weight loss journey, your body's already fatigued and it's already going under enough stress from eating in an energy restriction. So having good quality sleep is going to allow your body to recover because if we're not eating in a surplus, our body isn't going to grow new tissue. We're not going to recover as well. So we need to optimize our sleep as best as we can to ensure that we're recovering properly and that we're allowing our body to be in the best possible state to be able to allow fat loss. So even in a not fat loss phase, sleep is everything, which is why I've been taking more days off of work to ensure that my sleep is better. It is getting tough being this close to prep. I'm not sleeping very well. I'm waking up kind of hungry. But if it was coming to a fat loss phase, sleep is key, especially for recovery, for mood, for energy. So then you can go out throughout your day because you're going to be fatigued and tired anyway, being in a deficit. So sleep is absolutely crucial when it comes to that. All right, we'll do one more and then we'll do 2 more because I got 2 easy ones. And then we'll jump into some progress photos. So, not a question, but you're bloody good at what you do. So thank you, I do appreciate that. So for those of you who don't know what I actually do, apart from YouTube, I own a gym, a personal training studio and a 24/7 access facility in Adelaide, St. Agnes. and I'm also an online and in-person coach and have been for 10 years now. So I've been in the game for a long time. I've done my hours on the floor. I've done my hours in the books. I've worked with over 500 people in total in my entire career, 500 different people quite easily. And I coach people all around Australia on my own application, helping them with their health and fitness goals, competition prep, and also any sort of muscle gain or general lifestyle coaching. So if you guys are interested in knowing what I do more and how I can help you personally, there is a coaching link down below which you can fill out to work with me. Obviously, the more clients I have, the more YouTube content I'm able to produce because I need a job to pay for my house. What is your height? So I'm currently 184 centimeters. I'm not sure what that is in feet. So I'm not the tallest, but I'm also not the shortest. And obviously I weighed in at, I think it was, what was it, like 83.8 this morning. So, you know, reasonable size, but that is my height. So for this morning, I'm gonna finish off this coffee. I'm gonna do some laptop work and some client check-ins. And then I'll check back in with you when it's time to take progress photos. I'll see you there. All right, it is that little bit lighter outside now, so it's gonna be perfect to go take some progress photos. So this is my least favorite part of taking progress photos is stripping down into my underwear in this freezing cold weather. So my calories at the moment have increased slightly. They're 2,400 up from 2,200. I'll put the macros on the screen just here. The reason why we've done this is we're not gonna do any more refeeds, and my body has actually responded better to the increase of foods. I'm looking drier, I'm looking harder, my weight is still coming down, and we're eating a little bit more food. So we're gonna jump out there, get it done as quick as we can because it is freezing outside. I think that's it. I need to go inside because it is freezing, but I'll give you guys a real quick update in case you didn't see everything. So this is where I'm currently sitting. Freezing out here. Right, let's go inside, put some clothes on. I'm gonna make some breakfast, and I think I might go train and get it over and done with throughout the day because it's still pretty early in the morning, but I am getting quite hungry. And I want to get my session over and done with as quick as I can. All right, so progress photos are all sent through. Check-ins all done. Pretty much update at the moment is energy-wise is definitely depleting for sure. I know probably people around me are starting to notice it a little bit more, but you know, we're just under 4 weeks ago. It's time to really push and to make sure that I'm just putting on a smile and giving people the best service that I possibly can while going through these last few weeks. So we'll jump into a few more questions, and then I've just finished meal number 1, which was 50 grams of Freedom Foods rice puffs, so cereal, with 30 grams of protein powder and almond milk. Definitely one of my favorite meals for sure. So next question, how does alcohol hinder progress apart from the obvious calorie intake? Well, that would be the biggest thing. Consuming like large amounts of alcohol is obviously going to affect to your daily calorie intake. You know, with some drinks with being mixers, they can be around 2 to 3, sometimes even 400 calories per can. Wine is obviously like the worst as well when it comes to calorie consumption. But when it comes to alcohol, like regardless of calorie consumption, it's a massive inflammatory. There's obviously alcohol is a drug and a chemical that can affect all sorts of things like, you know, your blood work, all of your white blood cells, red blood cells, and it's a massive inflammation for sure. It can also affect, you know, really, really high blood pressure levels. So if you've got relatively high blood pressure, or if you've got a family history of high blood pressure, alcohol will raise that. And that in fact is going to affect your recovery and your ability to be able to exercise safely at a higher heart rate percentage as well. So that's sort of another reason why you should really try and stay away from alcohol, regardless if you're on a fitness journey or not. I believe that it's just not worth it. I do have, you know, drinks here and there, maybe on my birthday, Christmas and New Year's, and that's probably pretty much it. Obviously, it can lead to like strokes as well, breathing problems, cardiovascular issues when consuming large amounts of alcohols. It can regulate your blood glucose levels drastically, which is why like a lot of diabetics really struggle to consume alcohol as well. I think it is important to, you know, enjoy life and have your drinks here and there, but it seriously needs to be monitored and controlled and not a regular thing. Biggest thing with alcohol consumption is like you could be perfect all week with your diet plan, but then you go out to town or you go out and drinks and have Saturday night, it's going to affect your sleep. You're going to wake up hungover the next morning, which is going to affect your workout on the Sunday. It's going to put you over calorie consumptions, which then can lead to bad decisions like, you know, the late night kebabs and going out and getting pizza after town and etc. Not only is it's going to affect your sleep that night, but it's also going to affect a few days after when it comes to training or any sort of progression that you're really looking for in the gym. All right, last one, and then we're going to head down and train. So by increasing the tempo of the eccentric phase of an exercise, can you gain strength with light weight? My opinion, absolutely yes. So obviously the eccentric phase is going from shortened to lengthened, so the lowering phase of the exercise. If you see me in all of my training is all tempo work. It's very, very slow eccentrics. It's static holds in a stretch or lengthened position. And yes, you can absolutely still grow strength and stability through this, probably if not more, because what we're doing here is we're exposing the muscle to a longer amount of stimulus, especially slowing down that eccentric phase. So even though we have to go lighter with the load to be able to control the eccentric phase, which is the way down, we have to do that regardless, because we're not going to be able to maintain a controlled slow eccentric with, you know, our 1 rep max or an RPE of 9. So naturally we're going to have to decrease the load anyway to control the eccentric. But in my opinion, I actually think you will build more hypertrophy incorporating tempo work into your training, reducing the load and having more intention and quality. So my training, I've noticed all of my off season, I've reduced the load and incorporated tempo work, especially slow eccentrics, and then progressed with that. So even though I've had to drop my weight, you know, 30, 40% to achieve a certain amount of eccentric work, then I'll just use that to progress and get back stronger. And eventually the weights that I was using for my top sets, I'm now doing that with intention and eccentric work. So yes, absolutely would be my response to that question. So I'm a Ghost In. So this is 160 megs of caffeine. I've also had a coffee this morning. I'm living on caffeine at the moment. So we're gonna go to the gym, have more caffeine, pre-workout carbs, and today is a push day. So I'm gonna take you through that, just do a little bit of a B-roll and maybe answer some questions in between each exercise. So I'll see you down there. Pre-workout time. So while I'm drinking some pre-workout, you've obviously seen this backdrop before. I pretty much live here, and I know all my YouTube videos are relatively the same, but it is very repetitive when it's in prep. I'm sort of been a bit of a hermit lately. I haven't really been going out. I haven't really been socializing. I've actually gone out of my way to not socialize just because I don't have the energy. So when I'm not here, I'm at home playing Fortnite or playing PlayStation. So what I've got today is I'm going to do 2 scoops of the Perform, which is one of my favorite pre-workouts at the moment. And I'll do 1 scoop of the Daily Pump because I am struggling to get a pump with very, very low food. Have the red Sour Straps flavors in the pre-workout, and in the pump I've got the Big Sky, which I think is like a mixed fruit flavor. it's actually quite good. And then while I'm drinking this, we will run through a few more questions. Now guys, if you want to grab any supplements, head over to Australian Muscle and use my code word LBF. Each time you use my code word, it gives my kitten another dinner. So please go support me, support Ari and the boys from Australian Muscle. They sell pretty much every supplement you'll ever need, code word LBF. So we're gonna drink this, take about 15 minutes to let it really sink in, and then we will do another question. What are you looking forward to when your show is over? God. Lots of things. The biggest thing that I'm really looking forward to after my show is going back to normality. Having normal Lockie back, having my energy back, you know, not having every day as an absolute grind, sleeping better, being able to have more energy in my classes and at work, just get back to normality. It's not even the food that I'm craving. You know, it's not like the crazy cheat meals I'm craving. It's just having energy again, not having to worry about getting my steps, enjoying my training again and not following such a structured program, having more energy, because in prep, especially these last few weeks, it's like, even just standing up, it takes everything out of you. Like training, I'm excited to get a pump, just to go back to normality, have a really good off season, you know, be social again, go out again. Like, I don't go out to party, but I mean like go out and go bowling or go see my family or go out for dinner with some friends, things like that. I'm really looking forward to. So we'll do one more. I pre-made foods such as YouFoods. Notice that some have high calories than others. So my question, should I eat high calorie meals before or after a workout? Which is best? Personally, for me, I would be consuming the higher calorie food after a workout. Reason being is if you have a pre-workout, you're probably gonna feel pretty unwell exercising on a very full stomach. Depending on how early it is between your meal and your session, it could take a lot longer to digest. If it's like a high calorie meal or maybe a bad meal, the dairy and the inflammation can upset your stomach, which doesn't allow carbohydrate to pass through the GI wall to get to our bloodstream more effectively. So whether we have the high meal after our workout, we're going to be able to use that extra energy to replenish glycogen stores, to encourage protein synthesis, to use that food to go to better good, to recover from the workout when you're probably depleted after your workout. So for me, I would try and keep your pre-workout meal relatively light-ish, something with a fast-acting carbohydrate, fruit, pineapple, cereal, oats, yogurt, multidextrin, pre-workout powders, and then save your higher calorie meals, like the denser meals that are going to take longer to digest post-workout. So then we can really kick into that anabolic state where we start to grow new tissue and replenish all the glycogen stores. So really good question. I would definitely do the high calorie meal after workout. So we're going to jump into a push session. I think Josh is going to jump in with me.
That is mine.
Holy fucking shit. Josh just got a very expensive power wheel that makes 0 sense unless you've been smashing your heaters. So he's gonna handle that $50 million bill that he just got from an electric company. I've got a singlet on, a t-shirt on, a long sleeve, a sweater and a hoodie right now. I'm fucking freezing, bro. Questions. I might get Josh to answer some questions as well, so you can get a bit of a, if he's happy to, so we can get a bit of a like difference between my opinion and his opinion. So let's jump into it.
Hold on me, pulling me down, and I follow wherever he leads. Well, he's taking me under. I can't breathe. No, I can't breathe. Yeah, I'm a minute addicted. Oh, for days now, I've been lost in my mind.
The supplements that you believe are essential or that you recommend.
In priority order
Yep.
is creatine 1,
Yep.
protein, some form of protein 2.
Yep. Difference between an ISO and a whey is an ISO goes through a hydrolyzation process. So it basically takes out the GMO, the gluten, the dairy, the lower lactose content, and it's a lot quicker digestible than a whey. Creatine.
Yep, creatine, protein, and then a pre-workout.
And a pre-workout, that's all you.
Those are the three that I think, for what I do, the demand I put on myself, like that meets everything outside of nutrition.
You have a spare half hour and want to use it at the gym. What is the best kind of exercise for a bit of fat burn and a bit of toning? Anything.
Yeah.
Well, fat burning is going to come from your nutrition.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter what workout you do, whether you do a HIIT, a cardio, a leg day, a push day, a pull day. It all comes down to nutrition when it's a fat loss sort of equation.
Then some form of high rep circuit style, more of like an antagonist supersetting rather than that.
So that would be like, back bicep, chest or tricep, quad hamstring. That's what he means by like antagonist. Minutes cardio, pick 3 movements and just go through a circuit style. And try to do more compound movements rather than isolated movements. So then you're getting more bang for your buck out of the half an hour. What are good podcasts to listen to?
And at the moment for me is the RP Strength podcast. 2, Joe Rogan. 3, Black Rifle Coffee. 4, 2 Bears, 1 Cave with Tom Segura. And
I haven't listened to that before.
There's comedy.
RXD Radio. Really like their Fair Points podcast by James Smith. New Heights. Have you heard of New Heights? No. That's Jason Kelsey and Travis Kelsey. Yeah. So their football podcast that they do. This plays for the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are my favourite team. All right, we just finished a push session with Josh. He had to leave halfway through, do clients, and then I kind of just locked in and just finished it off. My step goal at the moment is 16,000. I like to sort of just smash it out on the treadmill and try and get my steps in quickly as I can. And my legs are feeling really heavy, really heavy. The fatigue is definitely there. If you like what you saw, I just trained at Energetic Capacity. That's my gym. We're located in Adelaide, South Australia, St. Agnes. Guys, once you come down and do a casual session, you're more than welcome to. We also offer memberships, group classes, nutrition coaching, personal training, and everything in between. Link is down below to check out our website, and you can go and have a look on further what we do. You lose strength even when you train most days. This is a tricky one to answer. Depends with the quality of your training, and it's always like that. If you are strength training most days, you are being consistent with your programming and focusing on progressive overload, I don't think you can lose strength. Make sure that you are progressing. And if you're not progressing, that's when things are due to change. So, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Something needs to progress, something needs to change, whether that be readdressing the movement, if it needs to be a regression or progression. I'm going to say no, I don't think you can lose strength if you train most days, if your training it has quality. Ooh, I got some goodies. Hi, baby. I can't let her go outside. Come on inside. So a bit of a house tour, I guess, because I haven't really properly given you one, but I've got like sort of the dining area, a plant. This is my backyard is here. I got some lawn area, some vines and stuff, and my clotheslines out there. That's why I take my progress photos. And then this is my kitchen. I got a brand new oven this week, which was super exciting. So, because my last one was a bit fucked. And my benches are not dirty, I promise. They are getting fixed. So I'm in a rental property, and the last owners, I guess, painted the benches. So it's just paint. And now every time I wipe down the benches or I try to cook on them, or maybe if I spill something and I have to wipe it up, it just rips the paint up and it looks disgusting. Living room, so I've got my couch, Akira's cat tower, that's sort of like her corner. I did have a nice house until I got a cat, and now it's basically just owned by her. Her toys and stuff are pretty much just everywhere, so I'm always cleaning up after her. But yeah, this is my living room area, my bedroom, low walls, which I guess is pretty gross, but you know, it is what it is. It's just me here, so I quite enjoy it. It's nice, it's small, it's easy to clean. I'm happy, I've got my own place. It's my little pad. So I'm gonna jump on this phone call with Dee, and I'll check in with you guys soon to do a little bit more, few questions, and then I'm gonna chill for the rest of the day, I reckon. So I'll see you in a second. All right, so we are back from a successful call with my employee Dee, obviously doing some content strategy. The next one is best greens powder recommendations. So this is my favorite greens powder that you can get from Australian Muscle using my code word LBF. It's this one here. So the reason why I really like this one is because it's chocolate flavored. It's like you're not even drinking greens powder. I obviously can't have it in prep, being like, you know, 3-ish weeks out. Having this with hot water and a little bit of almond milk, it literally tastes like a hot chocolate, and it's greens powder. So how old do you think it's best to wait until teenagers start taking creatine, protein shakes, etc.? So I started taking supplements when I was probably around the age of 13. First started taking was like just a typical C4 pre-workout, protein powder, and I pretty much jumped on creatine straight away. So for those parents out there, creatine is not a steroid, and it's one of the creatine is actually in Whole Foods, right? So we get creatine out of Whole Foods. The creatine supplement is just a more concentrated blend of it. It is the most studied supplement that there is out to date. Creatine is definitely safe for people to be taking, teenagers for sure. Protein powders, really at any age, honestly, any age, because protein powders it's more of like a milk isolate, is an extract of protein out of like a milk isolate. So it's pretty safe to be taking at any age, really, especially if you're getting the FDA approved ones. The only thing that I would probably be pushing back or being more concerned is high stim pre-workouts. That's probably the only thing at a very, very young age. Like a 13, 14-year-old get their hands on pre-workouts with, 400 to 500 megs of caffeine. That can be pretty dangerous, I guess, maybe being in that age, and if they're not sort of exposed to those high levels of caffeine. But that's probably the only thing that I would be monitoring or sort of kids or teenagers taking. It's just a pre-workout. Everything else I think is totally safe. Remember, they are called supplements, so they supplement things that we're already eating or consuming. This is an interesting one, but you guys might learn a little bit from this. What chest arm exercises fall into the pull category, and which one falls into push? All chest movements categorized as a push movement. The way that the function of the chest works is all pushing movements. Even I consider a chest fly as a pushing movement. For biceps, because of flexion, these are all considered pulling movements. So almost every single bicep exercise will be considered a pull movement. And then for triceps, elbow extension, everything is considered pushing movements. That's why it's like tricep push down, yeah? That's it for this Q&A. For me now, I've got a posing lesson that I got to do this afternoon, getting ready for my routine and just tidying some things up. Then I'm just going to chill, watch a movie, get the rest of my meals in and finish my steps. So if you enjoyed this video, please, please, please like, leave a little bit of a comment down below if you enjoyed it. Akira would appreciate it. The more likes that we get, the more toys that I get to buy her. Subscribe. I will be filming the next video is probably going to be a peak week video with Sean doing a photo shoot. So make sure you do subscribe so you won't miss out on that. And then the video after that will be show day. And then obviously the cheat day, which I will be filming all of it in Melbourne. So hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think. All of the things that you can do to support me, and I will see you in the next one. Adios, amigos.